Hey up, so we're doing another tutorial today. We're going to talk about logos, we're going to talk about some text, some shapes, creating shapes from text, animating the shapes, using what's called a trim path. This one is a bit more complicated than the last one, so focus up. But we'll get through it, and more fun times in After Effects. Here's what we're making, by the way, a nice, fun, funky logo with some animated text and some lines and some funk. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is quite obvious. It's going to be to add some text, type in whatever you want that text to be, and then we're going to format it how we want, and we do that using the text box on the side of the screen. You can choose color, you can choose outline, you can choose font, blah, 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 figure it out. Then we're gonna center our anchor point. I just do that by eye. I go to anchor point, turn up the number until the red box in the middle of what you're editing lines up with the anchor point. There's probably a more intelligent way to do it, I don't know. And I want my text to be in the middle of the screen. And the way I'm gonna do that, I know for a fact that the middle pixel of the screen is 960 in the X and 540 in the Y. They're two very helpful numbers, you don't have to remember them, but I just do. Now I'm going to do the same thing again for the other piece of text. For me that's the word page, but the way I want to manipulate the word page is going to be letter by letter. So after I've done that, I'm going to then recreate each letter in the exact same formatted text, and then again just move it by eye to where I want them to be. And now I can get rid of the original writing. Now, why have I done this? It's because we're going to make these letters 3D. So if I keep all the text together, when I move it around in 3D, they're all going to spin together. But I need them to spin on their own. For now, that's it for Page. We're going to go back to Arthur. Hello. But before we edit Arthur, we're going to need to change the text into a shape layer. This will just make things easier. Because although it's currently text, text is less manipulable than shapes. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to click Create, and then I'm going to go to Make Shape from Text Layer. And look, it's duplicated, and now it's blue. But don't worry, it's not blue, it's just it looks blue. It's still white. Now, the reason I've done this is because now we have paths, and as we know from the previous video, we can manipulate paths, and we can animate along paths, and I'm going to do it using a trim path. Let me quickly explain. Here I've made a fat line, and if I go under that, I can click Add and I can click Trim Path. And now you can see I get a start, an end, and an offset, which I can keyframe. For instance, if I just want my line to appear like a lightsaber, I might keyframe my end at 0, go a bit further on, add 100, now... Start and end are easy to understand. Is where the start is where the end is. The offset is a little bit different. It's going to offset your start and your end. So, for instance, if I keyframe my lightsaber drawing and then keyframe the offset, then it's going to animate along and look like it's moving along as it grows. Interesting stuff, but not very helpful to us today. All I want for my Arthur is for the text outline to appear nice and slowly. So I'm going to put my start at 100 and keyframe it. Now we can't see anything. I'm going to move along a bit and then I'm going to put it at 0. And now it's going to go all snazzy. And then I went into the graph editor and changed the timing how I saw fit. If you don't want to use the graph editor, the easiest way to do this is to right click any keyframe, go to Keyframe Assistant and press Easy Ease, or Easy Ease In, or Easy Ease Out. You can figure out what they do. It's quite simple. Now would you look at that, if we watch it back, our text is appearing with outlines. It's snazzy, it's good. Next, I want a little sort of underlining kind of thing going through the page and underneath the Arthur. I'm going to do this with a normal shape. I'm not going to bother with the text at all, so I'm just going to make sure my layers are unselected. Now if I use the pen tool, it's not going to add a mask, it's going to add a shape that we can add a trim path to and do exactly the same thing again. Next, we've got the page. I made the page 3D, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it around the y-axis by 90 degrees, which means we can't actually see it, and it's just going to turn nicely like it's some kind of Star Wars introduction. The final touch. In my logo, I had this little chromatic aberration effect, and all that was a duplicate of my outline layer, and then I animated the position just to go off. So then we got the white one in the front and the red one in the back. It's very simple. And look at that. You've made text, you've animated your text, you've manipulated things in After Effects. You're learning. In here there's some specific stuff, but there's also the principle. So if you want to go and make a title card or any kind of shape animation, you should be able to figure it out. It is quite complicated. I did move quite fast. This is harder than the James Bond one we did, but it's still good stuff. And if you followed along or made your own thing, you've smashed it.